In today's video, I get to take a bucket list flight, experiencing Japan Airlines 777-300ER in their legendary first class. We'll take a look at the lounge facilities, the pre-flight anticipation, and finally board this super luxury flight across the Pacific Ocean. Join me aboard for an incredible experience, one of the most spectacular food and drink services in the sky, and I'll show you everything you'd ever want to know about flying this iconic airline which does all the old-fashioned things the right way. And it didn't cost the earth. This flight takes 12.5 hours to cross the Pacific, so there's more than enough time to soak up the sake and get the most out of this rare privilege. We're heading from Dallas, Texas to Tokyo, Japan. Enjoy the video. Today's video begins at Dallas-Fort Worth, the world's second busiest airport for passenger traffic and a real monster of an airport to navigate. We're in Terminal D, which handles most of DFW's international flights. Japan Airlines departs for Haneda at 10:45, but oneworld partner American Airlines has a flight to Tokyo's other airport, Narita, just 15 minutes behind. You can grab some prime Texan cuisine, which is available on the concourse, but I've got an invite to American Airlines' top lounge, the DFW Flagship Lounge. This is probably the only lounge I've seen that has a seating area inside before you get anywhere near the desk, so I guess anyone could sit here? This flagship lounge has incredible views facing west over the apron and 3 of the 6 runways. It is one of my favourite airports to connect through when flying American Airlines or one of their partners. DFW is American Airlines' biggest hub. There is a flagship dining room here, but unfortunately this is open only when long-haul American Airlines flights with first class are operating, and that's not until the afternoon. It's likely that flagship dining will be no more after the end of this year anyway, as American closes the curtain on long-haul first class by the close of 2024. This means I have to use the buffet instead, but no harm done. Japan Airlines will feed me really well on board, and the buffet is pretty good. You can even get a glass of the hard stuff if you really want, and as I'm ticking off a bucket list flight today, sure, why not have a glass of bubbly? The lounge also has some Japanese options available. There's also a third Tokyo flight leaving in the early afternoon, so this shouldn't be a surprise. It's quite easy to get cynical about lounges at US airports, but this one is very good, and I'm already looking forward to my next connection through DFW in June. Of course, the lounge also has shower suites, a real godsend before any very long flight. And all of the amenities, towels and toiletries are included, as you'd expect. Terminal D hosts a parade of long-haul wide-body aircraft, but ours is sadly hiding away at the only gate which you can't see from the concourse. Our aircraft today is a 15-year-old Boeing 777-300ER, which has spent its whole career with Japan Airlines. So it's just about time to head to the gate. We've got just under an hour before the plane leaves, but the aircraft doesn't board until half an hour prior to departure. That's for a large 777-300 as well. Now, there are a couple of reasons for that. One is that the Japanese are very, very efficient at boarding aeroplanes, and the second has something to do with the aircraft configuration. You see, our long-haul flight to Haneda today is on a 777 with only 244 seats. Yes, just 244, thanks to a huge amount of space given over to large business and first-class seats. By comparison, Mexican airline Volaris has short-haul A321neo aircraft with 240 seats, just like European low-cost giant Wizz. So now you know, it's not just about efficient priority boarding, it's also about the very spacious seating on board too. Today's video is sponsored by Surfshark, an award-winning virtual private network, VPN. Now, there are a ton of great reasons to use Surfshark VPN, from leveraging lower prices online to protecting your online security. I've travelled over 1 million miles by air, so I definitely know the benefit of transplanting yourself from one place to another. But what if that was available virtually? What if you could just pretend to be somewhere else and still reap some of the benefits? That's where Surfshark comes in. Surfshark is really important to me because it helps me bounce my device's location to wherever is convenient for me. One of the biggest drawbacks of travelling so much is that sometimes my bank puts a block on my cards because it doesn't know where I am. They might also make me authorise everything via an app, and that's really frustrating and time consuming. If I'm making online purchases in Kansas, Karachi or even Cape Town, I make sure that I use the Surfshark VPN set to the UK location. This means there won't be any messing around with my banking app, and I can make my purchases unhindered. On the other side of the coin, sometimes foreign websites can be really picky about being accessed from overseas, and matching your VPN location to that of the website can get around a lot of the stumbling blocks. It's an incredible tool, a real Swiss Army knife, and it's available with a special deal. You can secure your privacy with an extra 3 months for free of Surfshark VPN by using code WINGINIT. And here we go, we're finally boarding. I'm finally getting to try Japan Airlines legendary first class. Hello, good morning. Thank you. Hello. While Japan Airlines business class suites look excellent, the real fun is at the front, and here is the enormous first class seat taking me across the Pacific in extreme luxury today. Well, I've definitely had worse plane seats in my life, I'll tell you that. This thing is absolutely massive. A menu and amenity kit are waiting by my seat, as well as some toiletries and the large headphones which pair with the entertainment system. We'll take a proper look at all of these after takeoff. The purser introduces herself and makes some small talk and brings me a drink. Oh, and a very important voucher for free Wi-Fi. So there's no alcohol served on the ground, apparently. Must be a tax thing, I reckon. But I do have a cold pressed drink that the cabin crew gave me, so let's give this a try. It smells good. That's delicious. Wow, I really can't wait to get flying. Let's go. Straight after takeoff, I'm into the airline slippers, and my pyjamas are given to me by the crew. It's time to take in the sheer marvel of first-class flight. After a welcome drink, I've a chance to show you the seat properly. It's fully adjustable and lie flat, of course, and features a huge storage pocket, one of the biggest I've seen on an aircraft. The rather outdated keyboard and phone combo here show that this is quite an old seat, but it has been updated twice since it was first installed, with a proper remote for the entertainment now included, and an iPhone-sized recess to keep your phone safe. The seat really is huge, and while it's just been eclipsed by the new Japan Airlines A350 first class seat, this is still a spectacular way to cross the ocean. The Ottoman even has a seatbelt in case you want to invite a seatmate to dine with you face to face, and there's plenty of storage under the Ottoman if you need it. Also, don't miss the little step cutouts in the seat shelves to help crew get up to the overhead racks. The entertainment system is definitely a generation behind even the latest business class products, but the screen is still a fair size and I had no issue with it.
One of the great pleasures of flying is not only the drink, but of course the food as well, and this has to be one of the most intimidating menus I've ever seen. I'm scared, but excited.
You really should, if you can, go for the Japanese food on board Japanese Airlines. It's exquisite and translates so well at altitude with great salt and umami flavours. The airline operates a dine-on-demand setup in first class, so there is no need to stay fixed to any meal time, and you can have whatever you like, whenever you like. You could even have your pudding first if you wanted. There's also an extensive wine list, although the very expensive Salon Champagne isn't on this flight. It's only available on flights leaving Japan. Next time, hey? First up is our amuse-bouche, but I'm soon distracted by the sight of a Southwest 737 alongside us. I love spotting other aircraft at altitude, and I wonder if anyone on board the 737 noticed us. Our contrail draws a huge scar across America's largest airport by area, Denver, and we're soon heading over the Rockies. The Wi-Fi is available and I had no issue signing in, but $18.80 for the full flight isn't too bad if you aren't in first class and have to pay for it. The food is predictably exquisite. This is kozara, Japanese small plates designed to fit in your hand, and the first of 5 courses. Next up is clear soup, a type of meat broth with yellowtail. Everything is presented beautifully and so much care has been taken with the food preparation here. Third up is azukebache, crab in sweet ginger sauce, and mukozuke, which is the assorted seafood, all served together. Finally, for our savouries, we have dainomono, a stuffed conger eel served with steamed rice, which was absolutely perfect, and miso soup. While I love Japanese food, I know it isn't for everyone, and I have to say that having given the dessert a try, and I still don't know exactly what this is, I can sympathise a bit with those who don't fancy it much. I did, however, discover a new liqueur, kokuto, made from black sugar in Okinawa. This was amazing, and I'll definitely be searching this out back home in England, and my reaction was simply There's a smart, if slightly conservative, amenity kit provided to all first-class passengers, made by Halliburton. This is a male one and is rather snazzy inside. I always wonder, how many people actually use all of the stuff inside these kits though? Japan Airlines has excellent high-quality headphones from Panasonic. These have good noise cancelling and are some of the best in the air in my opinion. They're almost as good as my own Bose pair I carry everywhere. First class has 2 bathrooms to share between a maximum of just 8 passengers, so you'll rarely have to queue. The bathrooms aren't exactly the Emirates shower or the mega-sized business class bathrooms on the top deck of British Airways A380s, but they're so clean and well appointed, a real hallmark of how much quality Japan Airlines puts into its operation. There's a seat as well as a footstool for you to change, meaning your bare feet will never have to touch the floor, which is such a great idea. And yes, it's what I call a Japanese tickle toilet with bidet and automated washing buttons.
It's now time for me to get a nap. The ride's really smoothed out now we're over the Pacific, and I'm having my bed made up as we speak by one of the cabin crew. I'm really excited to test out the massive bed that's on these 777s.
The airline pyjamas are not especially flattering, well, not on me anyway. Still, they're comfortable and better than sleeping in your clothes in bed. And talking of bed, here's mine. It's 199 centimeters long, over 6 feet 6 inches, and it's 58 centimeters wide. It is huge, and there's even a choice of firm or soft mattresses.
The cabin crew gave me one of these self-heating eye masks. Never tried one of those before, but I've got to say, they are really warm. They heat up straight out of the packet.
And look ridiculous. When I woke up, I asked for some fruit and this lovely plate was given to me. And the cabin crew had noticed I'd never finished my dessert and really thoughtfully gave me ice cream to try without me asking. It's this sort of very personal and kind service that really marks out the top-tier airlines for me.
We've got just over an hour to run until we land, and I've just ordered my pre-landing meal. Now, there's a whole load of really great Japanese stuff on the menu, but I was really intrigued by the fact there's jambalaya on the menu. Never seen that before at 30,000 feet, so I figured, why not, eh?
This was definitely one of the more interesting interpretations of jambalaya I'd seen, and I loved it. This was served with the chocolate panna cotta and superb umeshi plum wine. But before I had that, the crew insisted I try the Japanese option of grilled Chilean sea bass with miso flavour, and it was probably the best dish on the whole flight. As I'm writing my customs form and we descend into Tokyo, I'm able to reflect on just what a superb flight this has been. And I'm sorry it's nearly over. The crew really made this experience, and their recommendations for food and drink were spot on. Our approach into Tokyo is spectacular. Of course, I didn't pay the eye-watering $15,000 airfare. Instead, I redeemed 123,750 Avios and £261.80 in taxes. I really emptied out my Avios piggy bank doing this, and I would do it all again in a heartbeat. Japan Airlines really is a must-do experience, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments if you've flown first class with them. If so, lucky you. Or perhaps you'd like to try this one day yourself. The availability on Avios means that it's accessible to more people than you might think, but you do need to save hard for a long time. I really hope you've enjoyed this video, and thank you so much to Surfshark for sponsoring it. Secure your privacy with Surfshark. Enter coupon code WINGINIT for an extra 3 months for free at surfshark.deals/wingingit. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.